We are here together with Philippe Bismut, CEO of Arval, and Jim Halliday, Executive Vice President of Element Financial Corporation. Gentlemen, thank you for having this video interview. The acquisition of GE in North America was realized a little bit before the acquisition of GE by Arval in Europe. Can you share with us how far you are already in the decision taking around how the merger, how the integration will be developed in the upcoming time?
We're going to be very methodical on how we do this. We're certainly very far down the road on the IT planning. We announced a couple weeks ago that we're going to invest $70 million into redesigning the platform to make it, we think, the best in the world. And we're doing, some of those investments we'll be doing in partnership with Arval. But we think at the end of the day, the best recipe for being successful in the acquisition is to bring our clients in. So we've established a client advisory board, which has representation from all different clients, not just big or small or certain industries. That way we get the perspective of not just what fleet managers want to do today, but what they're also looking to do tomorrow around things like big data analytics and account management, for example.
When do you want to have the merger completely finalized?
Yeah, so our target is to have the the integration done by the end of 2016.
Does the roadmap, let's say, in terms of the integration of the services of GE Fleet in Europe within Arval, the roadmap, is it similar to the roadmap that Jim Halliday has described?
It's about the same in principle. However, as you know, we have more complexity in a way because we've got 12 countries to integrate. So actually we've got 12 projects to manage. But basically, I think this is not special. As you might know, we are just coming out of a worldwide program named One Arval, and over the past 5 years, we have aligned 25 Arval countries onto a common operating model. And here we are just, let's say, extending this type of project. So we are fairly confident we can manage it smoothly and factor in all the requests and needs of our clients.
So it will be quite an easy exercise for an organization as Arval?
I wouldn't qualify it as easy. It will be very labor intensive, a lot of stress on the organization, and of course we have to call beyond duty or all the engagement of our teams, but let's say yes, clearly we know how to handle it safely.
In what way does, let's say, the client portfolio of GE Fleet customers match, let's say, with the client portfolio of your customers at Arval today?
There is an excellent match, and that was what made the opportunity very attractive to us, because there is a very low overlap by coincidence. Also, it complements very well, let's say, the mix in terms of segment. This client portfolio is composed primarily of large or international accounts that, let's say, complements our client portfolio, which is much diversified.
The portfolios are very identical, so if I looked at 80% of our portfolio being elements is in the, I'll call it the service fleet space, and 20% is in the sales fleet space. Both are equally important, and the GE's portfolio is almost a mirror image of that. I think one of the things that is really exciting about the the acquisition is each sector or each industry we participate in, we now have much richer benchmarking data, both on a call it a North American basis, but also through Arval, we're going to be able to provide some pretty interesting things with 3 million plus vehicles that we didn't have maybe the sets of data that we have today.
Within Europe, GE will be integrated in Arval, as you are the biggest and you will stay CEO. And I will then come back to you, Mr. Halliday, where perhaps in North America there is perhaps more presence, let's say, of GE.
Globally, yes, but I'd like to nuance this view. Of course, we have to build one company, and one company, the new Arval, will be based on the founding principle of One Arval. We have defined common operating model, which are the foundation of the way we operate the business. For instance, the way we group our account teams, the way we manage a relationship with the client through all the cycle of the relationship. Those are the foundation. And clearly, we want our new colleagues to adopt those foundations. Having said that, there are already good practices in the GE business as it was, and we really want to take on board these practices and cross-fertilize the business. That's the first point. Second point regarding people. When you say one will integrate there, it looks like a shark, swallowing a victim or a prey. Actually, our basic principle is really absolute fairness in job opportunities from management to the shop floor.
We have an equal balance of people from both sides, and the goal here is to build a better company than either companies were on their own, and that's the message that we've been very clear with our teams on. And we, like Philippe, we've had a very fair process, has gone through and made some hard selections, but I think there's so many good things in the GE platform. There were so many great things and good things in the Element platform. When you put those two things together, coupled with I would say this renewed focus on our global partnership and actually putting some capital and scale into that, I think it's a home run. As Philippe said, it's a game changer, and everybody at Element Financial feels exactly the same way as our employees do. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, so we want to make the most of it.
We can have the impression that the European-based leasing companies are the ones with the greatest, let's say, willingness to enter markets outside of North America and Europe.
It's a great question. I mean, I think our view is we see enough scale within our U.S. market, and I guess Australia and New Zealand kind of fit that mold. It's a very similar market to Canada, so it kind of fit, and it was an opportunistic purchase because it was part of a global deal. But generally speaking, we felt our partnership with Arval gave us everything we needed, and the fact that they were already in multiple countries. Our view is there's enough opportunity in the U.S. with both product and service acquisitions, fleet company acquisitions. Obviously, we don't feel necessarily that it's in our need to go outside of the U.S. And I can't speak for other companies, but that it's always been enough opportunity within Canada and the U.S. and they're close to home, so we know them well. And like I said, we have a great partner in Arval, so there's not really a lot of need to do anything differently.
My words will echo Jim's words. I think the partnership with Element or its previous companies has been there for decades, nearly still since the cradle of Arval, if I may say. We have always been delighted with the relationship. We find in Element a tremendous, great partner. So why change, really? So for geographic expansion, we would rather focus on other new markets, while we have already consolidated our presence in the two key core markets, in North America and Europe.
What for you is the role of the leasing fleet management company in a world where new players, tech wizards, startups will dominate the general economy and also our society?
Well, I'm not sure that new player they may, but it's not sure, dominate our business. What is sure that there are new startups, there are new technologies, new solutions. Our role is take these as opportunities to change our value proposition. And clearly, all the digital wave is a tremendous opportunity for us to provide new type of services. In the very short term, you've got existing solutions, most of them telematics enabled, using the car electronic, using the Internet of Things to monitor cars, to provide car sharing solutions for now. In the future, other things, we could think of the Uber fleet management, we could think of running or operating fleets which are self-driven. this is the future, but this is our role to transform our fleet management business into a real fleet operator business in the future.
Most CEOs of companies, have a quiet or calm paranoia of who is the, I'll call it the Uber or the Amazon or the disruptor that could really cause them, a lot of stress, and to try to get into that game prior to being consumed or your game changed. And I think, Element, the reason that, that I'm excited about the future, there's a lot of reasons, but we are very much committed to investing in those type of companies. And certainly our founders have a long history of that. So, we think that there's a good chance that some of those products and services will fit with our customers.